Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Lynn and I am Pretty Papercrafts 67 and today I am going to create some Christmas cards. I am working with elements from the December mystery box from Sue at Paper Inspirations. In that mystery box we received some beautiful paper pack. No, I haven't got much left because I've used a lot of it up. It was sort of non-traditional prints, but I think they just worked really, really well for Christmas. So I've used, like I said, I've only got a little bit of it left now, but I've used a lot of these elements and created some really, really simple Christmas cards. In the mystery box, we did receive a whole pack of card blanks and envelopes. So yeah, I've put them all to good use and I've created a few extras, but these three, and I thought we might recreate them again this morning on camera. So yeah, just very, very simple and easy ideas. But yeah, I thought they turned out really nicely. So we shall push on and create some extra ones done. I have worked, pardon me, I have worked ahead of time and I have sort of got my elements all sorted. So for this very first one, which is this one, we'll do this one again. All I've done is I've taken strips of paper, patterned paper, and I've cut them at about 1.5 inches wide, and I've basically just laid them over each other until I've been happy with the spacing, sort of thing, like that. Just created a little bit of a background like so, and then I've just glued those together and sewn around them just to make like a striped pattern background. But aren't they lovely? All those colours, like I said, very non-traditional, but I think they all work together really nicely. So that is the background, and then I'm using just a bit of cheesecloth, and I'm also using from the mystery box. We received the Uniquely Creative a very vintage Christmas in the die cut pack. So I've got some of those. I'm using some of those sentiments in there. Bit of cheesecloth. We also received a packet of bells, 2 sizes of metal bells, which I just love. So I'll use some of those as well. So really, really straightforward. I'm also using a couple of elements from Sue's new printable kit, lots of labels. So that is proving to be brilliant. So we'll come back and work with that during the week. Yeah, so let's just get on. So as I said, I've already created my base, and I'm just going to give that card blank a really nice score to make it nice and sit nice and flat. So as I said, I've just stuck the 3 panels together and I've sewn around. So now I'm basically just going to pop that down on the front of my card base. Just attach it with a bit of glue. Oh, and how is everyone today? Can you believe it? A week before Christmas. Every year I think I'm going to be so organised, and then every year I realise I'm not. So, yeah, it's just really snuck up on me this year again. All right, so I'm just going to pop that one straight down on my card blank. Sort of trying to keep even distance between the topper and the card. And I'm just going to give that a nice firm press down there, like that. All right, so then we've got the sentiment. This is the sentiment from the die cut kit, the Uniquely Creative die cut kit. And I've just laid a couple of eyelets in there, so I might do the same with this one, just to give it a bit of a metal element. So I'm just going to pop a hole about there, and the same on the other side, sort of trying to level it up a little bit as best I can. And then we'll just lay our eyelets in there. Try and get 2 gold ones. I am running out now, so I've got to order some more from Sue. So we'll put that one in there and we'll just set it. Oh, it's a little bit oblong. That's okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, maybe it does. If I can pull that one out, it's just a little bit squished. Pull that one out and we'll put in another one. Just got to press a little bit more gentle. Okay, so just that sort of thing, just there like that. Now, I'm also going to use, I've got these discs here, a numbered disc. This one's 25 for Christmas, obviously. And I didn't have another 25. They've got every number from 1 to 25 in the pack. So they'll come in handy for other projects as well. But what I thought I would do is I've got this one. I've just sewn around the edge of it. And this is one of the labels from Sue's Printable. So I thought I might lay that over the top, C for Christmas, because I just want that sort of a bit of a dangle to hang down the bottom edge like that. So I'm just going to stick that C for Christmas over the top of that 16. These would make lovely embellishments for an advent calendar, all the different numbers. And I'm just going to center that as best as I can, just like that, and just leave that to dry for a little bit. Now, I want to use some cheesecloth in behind the sentiment, so I've got to get some cheesecloth dyed, but we'll just use a little bit for now. And we'll just pop underneath that sentiment, just a bit of a piece. And that might be a little bit too big, but so we kind of just want that sort of thing. And I like it to be quite messy. So like that. And then this one here, I'm going to punch a hole when that's dried a little better, and I want to string some of these little Christmas bells, and I'm going to take the smaller ones like that, and I'm just going to sort of, just let me pack these away, otherwise I'll lose them everywhere. And on this one here, I've just got the little jingle bells just sort of tied onto the top of that little label there. Okay, so I'm going to grab again my crocodile with the smaller hole, and I'm just going to punch like there, sort of thing. And I've got a bit of wax linen thread here left over. Well, that's probably not big enough. Okay, so all I'm simply going to do is I'm going to thread some bells onto there, if I can. Like that. And then I'm just going to thread that through there, like that, and bring the bells close in, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. I don't want it real tight because I still want those bells to jingle a little bit. Just like that sort of thing. Oh, I love that. All right, so, and you can choose to ink or not to ink. That's sort of your preference. It's just such a habit of mine to ink. So I'm just going to just lightly ink around the sentiment and lightly ink around this dangle piece, just like so. Now, I'm just going to trim that off a little bit. And then we're just going to stick these down. So what I want to do, I want this to kind of hang about there, give it the impression that it's kind of hanging. They could actually even be a bit shorter. Just cut those a little shorter. They're going to actually sit up underneath the sentiment, but you won't really see them, but you will see this, see the bells and the disc. And then this one here, sort of about like that. Sort of like that. All right, so what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to stick down the disc onto our card front. Like that, around about, I'll sort of level it up with this one, so around about there, kind of thing. And then these little pieces here, I'm just going to hide them under the sentiment. And then I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of this. And I'm going to lay our cheesecloth out and put that over the top of it like that. And then I want to build up my sentiment with some foam tape. So I'm just going to cut a couple of strips of foam tape. Like that sort of thing. And then that will sit over the top like that. Really, really simple and easy ideas. And pull off that backing. And I'm just going to put some extra glue down on the foam tape to make sure it stays where it's supposed to. And then I'm just going to line that up about like that. And press that down. So that's as simple as that one is. That's our first style. Isn't that sweet? I love it. And little jingle bells. All right, so that's number one. Now we'll go on to number two. So this is number two. So again, very, very simple and easy. I've got my card blank ready to go. So with this one, I am using a piece of the paper pack, and I'm using one of the embellishments from that Creative Cuts kit. That was your larger one. This is a small one, but the same sentiment. So we will just fiddle with that one as well. So again, all I have done, I'm going to turn this one, instead of being portrait, I'm turning it landscape. And I've just cut my papers just to fit. Oh, that doesn't fit, does it? Oh well, it's close enough. So I'm just cutting my papers to fit. I should have trimmed it just a little bit top and bottom, but that's okay. I won't do that now because I've already done my sewing. So that sort of thing. Now, before I stick this down, I want to take my sentiment and I'm going to wrap some ribbon. See how I've got some ribbon wrapped around it? The ribbon is actually stuck underneath the topper. So when you open your card, you don't see it. And the ribbon that I'm going to use is, again, ribbon from the mystery box. And I'm going to use, again, some cheesecloth. So I'm just going to cut a piece of cheesecloth from there. Maybe that's a bit big. Now this sentiment is a smaller sentiment, but I think it will still work quite well. And that is going to go there. Now what I want to do, I'm going to punch a hole and set 2 eyelets for my ribbon to run through the sentiment. So again, I'm just going to sort of do it as even as I kind of can, one side to the other side. About like that sort of thing. And with the ribbon that we received in the mystery box, I am going to run it in this way. And so that runs from the front to the back, and then we're going to run it back poke it back up from the back through to the front. Just like that sort of thing. And now, like I said, I don't want to stick this down just yet. So I want to kind of make sure I've got enough ribbon, and that will be, oh, we should, oh, hang on guys, rewind. I want to set some eyelets in there. Now again, I'm just going to grab some brassy colour ones. I've got lots of silver left, but I don't have much gold. So give me a minute, those two are stuck together. Alright, so we'll just set our eyelets in here, first of all. I'm sorry if you can hear that bit of clanking in the background. Someone's sorting their cans and bottles. Okay, so like that, and then we can pop our ribbon back through from there, and then bring it back through from the back to the front, if it will let me. Like that. It just gives it that little bit of something, bit of metal. I like a bit of metal. Alright, so that's as simple as that is. So all we're going to do now is we're going to take our cheesecloth, and I'm going to glue that down on that. Yeah, I didn't glue this one. I didn't mount this one higher. And that's a little bit, that would be better if that was straight, like that. So a bit of glue around. I'm going to put some glue under that ribbon so that it will sit nice and flat, and a bit of glue on the top, and pull that nice and flat, and then just basically pop it down on my cheesecloth. And then I'm going to take that cheesecloth, that whole piece, and sort of stick it down in the center, sort of thing like that. So we'll do that first. And I didn't mount this one on. You could mount it up on a bit of foam tape if you wanted to, but I didn't do that with this one. So just a bit of random glue here and there. Pick that up. I'm going to hold those strings as tight as I can, and then just lay that down. If the cheesecloth will cooperate. Hold the strings, and just lay that down sort of in the middle as best that I can, like that. Now what I want to do is I want to grab these strings, and I'm going to try real hard to keep them. I can cut that a bit, cut that one down a bit. Try and hold them as tight as I can, and I want to wrap them around the back and just glue it down. Run a bead of glue like about there, and keeping that nice and tight. I just want to lay that like that down. I just want to check that it's straight. Yep, that's pretty good. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Just run a bit of glue about that. I can trim that a little bit off. And again, pull it nice and tight and lay it down like that. I want to check. And then we can put that whole lot down on our card base like so. So then, oh, lots of glue. I'll put a little bit more there so that they will hold. there we have it. Pop that down on there. And there we have our second Christmas card. So easy, so simple. Going to give that a bit of a burnish just to make sure it all sticks where it's supposed to be. And there you have it. There's number 2. Aren't they lovely? Really, really nice. So we'll put that one away. That one is with that one, and then we've got that one with that one. Now we've got number 3, so we'll bring this one back in. It's very hot here this morning, guys, so give me a minute just to wipe my face and my glasses. Alright, so now for this one here, I've got, again, my bits and pieces organised, but I just wanted to do some embossing on my card base before I did any decoration. So I've just run that through an embossing folder, just that top sheet or top section of the card. So I've got that done. And then what I'm going to do is I've cut a strip that measures about 2 1/4 inches wide and the length of the card base. Again, I have done my machine stitching around it just because that's personal choice. I like to do some machine stitching. And I just basically want to stick that straight down there, it's running through the centre. I'm using a sentiment from the die cut kit. And then I'm just going to make these really simple little, just decorations, I suppose, little squares, or they're not quite squares with rounds. And these ones on this card measure, we've got the first section measures 1 1/2 inches, and the second measures 1 1/4. So 1 1/2 square and 1 1/4. So I'm just going to bring in my trimmer. So I've got some, this is Tim Holtz Christmas, or not Christmas, but sparkly cardstock in gold. So I thought I would use that as my background. I'm just going to measure that once again. There, about 1 1/2. So I'm going to cut a strip at 1 1/2. Oh, that will just fit in there. And then I'm going to cut 3 at 1 1/2. So you want squares that are 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 square, just like that sort of thing. And I'm going to use 3 of those. One, 2, and 3. And then I want to grab some patterned paper as well. The patterned paper. We also received these die cut, not die cuts, and fussy cut page 2, which I'm going to work with those later on in the week. So I'll come back and I'll show you that later on. Now this one, the middle section, the pattern section, will measure 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut a strip at 1 1/4 wide. And then once again, we're just going to do 3 squares at 1 1/4. So 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. 1, 2, and another 1. So that's 3. Just like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm just going to round the corners on 2 sides, 2 opposite sides on all 6 pieces. And there's a little dodgy. And then I'm going to do the same with the glitter cardstock. taking my edge corners off of 2 sides only. Now, all right, just like that. And then really simply, I'm going to just stick one on top of the other in the same sort of patterning. So the rounded corners with the rounded corners, the points with the points kind of thing, like so. I'll just quickly do that. And just kind of keeping them as neat as or as sort of level with each other as you can to sort of create that spacing all around each side so that you get an equal distance of the glitter cardstock. That kind of thing, 1, 2, and then the third one. Like that. And then we'll just bring in, give them a minute to dry off while we bring in our card base. So the embossed card base, we've got our strip of paper, which again I forgot that measurement, measures about 2 1/4 inches, but whatever you like. It's just my preference, but you can do whatever you like in distance there. And now I'm just going to pop this one down over the top of that. And just kind of level it up as best as I can so that I've got sort of similar space top to bottom. Kind of sort of like that. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a burnish. Like that. And now we're just going to take our little pieces and I'm just going to kind of lay them along as evenly as I can within that square, just that sort of thing. And I am keeping the pattern shapes all the same direction. So now we are just going to stick those down. So I'll do this one first so that that middle one, I can even that up in the middle. And I'll put that one about there, and I'm just sort of trying to keep it as level as I can. You could get real fussy with a ruler and everything. See, that's got to come down quite a bit. About like that. And the same with that middle one. And just leveling that up top to bottom and the spaces in between, just to even it up as best as you can. So there you go, that's what you have there. And then I'm going to grab the Christmas, Merry Christmas sentiment from the paper pack, the die cut paper pack from Uniquely Creative. And I'm simply just going to pop that over the top, but on this one I am going to mount it with some foam tape to give it some height. About like that. And I'll grab that backing off and put a bit of glue on there. And we'll just sort of place that kind of sort of in the center about like that. And then I've just got, now where did they go? Here they are. I've just got some little gems from a little card making kit that I had bought a while ago. And I'm just going to pretty that up with some different gems. So I've got some reds here. So just to give it that little bit of bling factor. Oh, that's stuck on my finger. And I've got a couple of these little green ones left. Just sort of something like that. So there you go. How simple is that? Love it, love it, love it. All right, so there you go, everyone. Just a really, really simple idea to use to make some Christmas cards. And I have used elements from the December mystery box from Sue at Paper Inspirations. I will link Sue's social medias down below. And yeah, I'll put a direct link to the store where the mystery boxes are available on subscription. If there are any stocks left over after subscription orders have been filled, Sue does put them in the shop for sale. So you may get lucky. There may be a December box left. I'll check that out and link those below. But yeah, just some really simple ideas for Christmas cards. This week for me is all about Christmas, so I'll be coming back again tomorrow with some other ideas for my creative design team project for Sue for Paper Inspirations, and we'll do some more Christmas themed ideas then. But anyways, that's me for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. Stay cool if you're in Brisbane. Again, it's awfully hot. Yeah, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.